Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to go over my favorite NBA player props for Saturday, February 7th. Now just a quick little recap. Yesterday we went 1-1. We had two picks. Andrew Nemhard over 25.5 points plus assists, which was looking pretty bad for a while, I'll be honest. I think going into the fourth quarter he was looking really bad. He was like 1 of 11 or 1 of 12 from the field. And then midway through the fourth quarter, he just flipped a switch and then went off. And he ended up covering us fairly easily I think he ended at 30 points and assists. On the other hand, we had Jaden McDaniels over 22.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And this one was pretty much dead from the get-go. He got in foul trouble right away. He had 3 fouls at half. Came back in the second half, got a 4th foul pretty much right away. And then he came back in again and he got a 5th foul in like 17 minutes played, so it was pretty much dead right there. But I got some more picks for you today, and let's get into it. Alright guys, first pick of the day, we got Anthony Black over 16.5 points against the Utah Jazz. Now what I like about this one is Franz Wagner is out. And you'll see here, without Franz Wagner on the season, he is over in 14 out of 24. Averaging 18.2 points. The Utah Jazz, this is a great matchup. Take a look at their defense. They're pretty much bad at everything, right? 27th in overall points, 23rd in threes allowed. Look at what they give up to shooting guards. Dead last in 3 points, dead last in points. You look at the play types, dead last in transition, dead last in spot up. You look at the percentage that Anthony Black uses. This is 28%, 28%. That's 56% of his points coming from these play types, right? You look at the shot zones. We already went over the 3-pointers. They're 29th in above the break 3 defense. That's 23% of his points. And you'll notice in these matchups without Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero is getting doubled a lot. And so he's passing the ball's getting forced out of his hands, and you'll see Anthony Black sitting there in the corner. He'll get a lot of open looks from 3, and when he connects, he can go over pretty easily. And another thing I want to point out is that Tyus Jones is no longer on the Magic. He was recently traded, and so you look at their backcourt depth chart now. It's pretty barren outside of Suggs, Bane, and Black, and then you got Jace Richardson. So there's going to be a lot of minutes available for Anthony Black. So we go back up here, go to the minutes, you bump him up to 30 minutes, and look how much green there is here. Right, so this ends up coming out to 13 out of 19 games without Franz Wagner and 30 minutes played for Anthony Black. Again, great matchup. Concern here is the blowout, right? 9.5 point spread. But you look at the total. This is 237 points is what the books have the line at. That means a lot of points are expected in this game. And when there's a lot of points, a lot of guys are going over. Another thing, with the Jazz, Keontae George, he's still questionable with that sprained ankle. He could be back, Jazz are tanking, so I don't think they're going to be rushing him back. Either way, I like Anthony Black to go over in this one. Alright, so the second pick I got for you guys here is Michael Porter Jr. over 24.5 points. And today, the Brooklyn Nets are playing the Washington Wizards, who are blatantly tanking. I mean, it's not like the Brooklyn Nets aren't tanking either, right? But just look at this injury report for the Wizards, and I mean, that's like a full team right there, right? Go down here. Yeah, lots of guys out. Yeah, a couple questionables, but don't be surprised if one or multiple of these guys sit. We got Sark, Keyshawn George, and then Koulibaly, because obviously the Wizards aren't trying to win this game. And we check out the matchup for Michael Porter Jr. Wizards, they're terrible at everything defensively. They rank 26th in overall points, 25th in spot up, 29th in transition defense, 23rd in handoff. You see that's like half of Michael Porter Jr.'s points come from those play types. You look at the shot chart, just outside the bottom 10 in ATB3 defense, 28th in restricted defense. You see those are his 2 favorite zones. And you look at the season hit rate on this line, it's 60%. It's 24 out of 40. See, they have already played each other this year, and he scored 34 points on 11 of 18 shooting. So clearly this is a matchup he can do well in. And you know, the thing about Michael Porter Jr. is he's always going to shoot the ball, especially on this Nets team. Look at his 19 shot attempts, 24 shot attempts, 28. You see his last two games. I mean, this is a good spot for a bounce back here. He struggled against the Lakers. He went 0 for 9 from 3. Had another bad game against Magic, 2 of 13, 2 of 7 from 3. And, you know, he hasn't had, like, a long stretch of going under. You see, this season, the most he's gone under is 2 games in a row. It's happened a couple times. But you know, with the volume that he gets, and it's consistent volume too, because you know, you look at this Nets team, it's like, who's he really competing with here? And Noah Clowney, Nick Claxton, you know, Michael Porter Jr. is going to get the lion's shares of the shots in this game, and you know, with this matchup, yeah, I really like him to go over here. All right, next pick is LaMelo Ball over 7.5 assists. Now the Hornets, they're the hottest team in the NBA right now. They have won 8 games in a row, and they are 9-1 in their last 10. And they play the Atlanta Hawks today. And the total is set at 231.5. The Hawks play at the 3rd fastest pace in the NBA. All right, so what does that mean? They're moving up and down the court. Lots of shots are flying, lots of points, hence the high total. And what does that mean for LaMelo? Well, that means he's going to be able to pass the ball to his teammates quite a bit because there's going to be more offensive possessions. You take a look at the injuries. Kobe White just got traded to the Hornets, but he is not playing yet, so that shouldn't affect LaMelo at all. Now, if we take a look at the last 10 games for LaMelo, you'll see he's only over in 4 out of 10, actually, averaging 6.9 assists. But take a look at these potential numbers. You got 14, 16, 13, 14, 14. And so he's really hooking here a lot. 7, 7. And it's not because, you know, the potentials aren't there. See, 28 minutes, and this was a 27-point blowout. So you notice one more of those potentials converts, and you're cashing. You got another one against the Pelicans. 5 of 12. Nuggets 6 of 14. He only played 19 minutes in this one. Again, I think with the amount of potentials he's getting, I think that's a good sign for us because all he needs is, you know, one more here or there to convert, and we're cashing. And, you know, given the matchup, I think that's really likely. You'll see head to head this season they've already played, and he had 13 assists on 13 potentials. Now, obviously, he's probably not going to go 100% again, right? But, you know, it's a good sign. You know, historically, he's done well against them. You look at last season, he had 9 of 11. He had 11, only 4 assists in this one. Then he had another double-digit assist game in that one. Now, if we actually look at the game totals, so how many points are scored in each game, like I mentioned earlier, the total is set at 231.5 for this game. And obviously Vegas knows what they're doing, right? So we look at the totals, and these are for the games this season. We slide this up, even at 211, right? 210, 211. He's over in 62% of the games this season. And that's 20 points under what the line is currently set at. So he keeps sliding this up. You go up to 228, it goes up to 64%. And you just look at all these potentials. They're all double digit. 12, 13, 17, you got 20 here. You know, the higher we go, right, the higher the hit rate is going to be because more points. And so this becomes a high-scoring game. LaMelo's assists are looking really good. Now, something else I want to show you guys here is the restricted area defense, right? So Atlanta, they rank 25th, which is really bad. And we go up here. Now, in matchups against the teams with bad restricted area defenses, take a look at what happens to the hit right here. You see, we're just at the bottom 10. So the 10 worst teams in restricted area defense. LaMelo covers his assist line in 8 out of 10 this season, averaging 9.2 assists. You look, the only games he's missed, he's gotten 7 against the Bulls and 5 against the Pelicans. But every other game, he's averaging 14 plus potential assists. And those are really good numbers. And just to wrap it up here, we're going to take a look at the Hornets' potential assists. And clearly the offense flows through LaMelo, right? 12.2 potential assists per game. He's averaging 7.5 on the year. Kobe White, he's not even part of this game. So really, I mean, Con Canupo is the next highest. And, he's going to be behind the three-point line taking his shots. So this is a really good matchup for LaMelo to rack up the assists. I'm going over 7.5. Alright guys, that'll do it for today's picks for Saturday, February 7th. Just to recap, we got Anthony Black over 16.5 points, Michael Porter Jr. over 24.5 points, and LaMelo Ball over 7.5 assists. Now, if you like these picks and you want more, be sure to like and subscribe. Be sure to follow me on x.com/BudfordsBets, so you don't miss any picks. I will see you guys tomorrow.